Tom and Rossalicious wearing the shacket.
I'm back it. And wearing my shacket.
Please tell me remind me where you got the shacket from, because I feel like I need one.
H&M, Tom. 2 shops rolled into one, H&M, which is shocking because normally for the fat lads, they don't cater for us. But I was like, well, I'll take a chance. Let's see what happens. And it turns out it works. If you're a fat lad watching, you can shop at H&M too, don't worry.
We are not sponsored by H&M. We are sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Buy it now and, get a wizard or something. Here is your wrestling news. The shocking reason behind an AEW release has been revealed. Plus, an AEW star is out of action with an injury. And we've got the backstage reaction to a Monday Night Raw debut, which we'll share with you in a bit. 2 names came up from the AEW side last night whose contracts have not been renewed, those being Awesome Kong and Shanna, no longer with the company. We'll start with Awesome Kong, who I'm gutted to see go, Ross.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's been going on there. No, she was shooting some films or some TV shows or something right at the start of AEW, so that hampered her involvement or something. I think I'm right in speaking there, Tom. I'm just making up stuff off the top of my head, to be honest with you.
Well, she was doing Glow and all that jazz, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She was heavily involved in all of that.
But she got the big start with, obviously aligned with Brandy Rhodes right at the start, where she's like, I want to make this match awesome. And everyone thought, oh my God, the Miz is going to be here. But no, it was Awesome Kong. The Nightmare Collective, it was what it was, and what it was terrible, and that was a shame. But yeah, it's weird how things have worked out with Awesome Kong.
I haven't seen her on TV since the start of last year. Pre-pandemic, she was on an episode I believe she was on an episode of Dark in action there. But then we haven't seen her since, and we wish her all the best. The other name there is Shanna, and I don't know whether this one is as clear cut as Awesome Kong. So Shanna's been making intermittent appearances on Dark Elevation since November. Obviously, she's one of the international talents from France, so travel hasn't been that easy. Last seen on an episode of Elevation back in early April. Fightful Select have said that there were some issues with Shanna that may have led to her not having her contract renewed. Some of the other wrestlers, namely extras who came in to do Dark and Dark Elevation, were upset with the way that she treated them. So nothing's been filed in terms of bullying or misconduct or anything like that. But there was, from what Fightful and other sources are saying, a bit of an attitude problem with Shanna.
And I guess if it's upsetting the apple cart in the grand scheme of things we've seen with Eva Lise in the not too distant past, I know that's a bit different to what's been said here, but still it sort of comes under the sort of the attitude umbrella, if you want. The attitude umbrella.
The Attitude Umbrella.
It's during the Attitude Era. No, but if it's causing upset and unrest in the roster, the best thing is, especially with someone like Shanna, who was impressive when she did do the wrestling, but obviously due to the pandemic and whatnot, she hasn't been seen all too often. I thought she moved over there not too long ago after just to sort of remedy the fact that she was living in France and therefore couldn't make most of the shows. But yeah, if she's upsetting things and just causing unrest, I guess the best thing is just to go, see you later.
Staying with AEW, Joey Janela took to Twitter on Monday. He's revealed that he has pulled out of 2 GCW dates. Joey Janela didn't reveal what the injury that he sustained is, but we do understand that it is an injury. He hasn't been cleared to get back into the ring, so won't be part of GCW. It may potentially affect some stuff he's got going on with AEW as well. This past week on Elevation, he did an interview which kind of sets up the fact that he and Sonny Kiss are no more. We'll keep tabs on Joey Janela. I think there's still a lot of untapped potential with a guy like Joey Janela, you know.
It's weird, isn't it? Because he has that sort of, that endearing, is endearing the right word, Tom? Endearing,
yeah, you can be endeared to Joey Janela.
That endearing quality of he's not Roman Reigns. He's very much the opposite of Roman Reigns, but he's there and he puts his body on the line and he's got 80s music and nice shades. So good luck to him.
I'm trying to think of what the opposite of Roman Reigns would look like or sound like.
Well, me.
Victorian leashes. That's the only one I can think of. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Yay! It's been a thing lately. PW Insider have said that there were some issues during the opening segment, in the sense that Miz TV went a little bit too long, 8 to 10 minutes too long to be exact.
How can you go 8 to 10 minutes too long?
apparently very easily if you're Mike the Miz, Mizan and friends during Miz TV. I don't know how long. Obviously, that segment was meant to be minus 8 to 10 minutes, but because of this, several segments were shuffled around to accommodate the cuts to make sure that we hit the end of the show on time. If Raw was a bit more fraught than normal, that's probably why. Hard to tell. It's fraught most days at the moment.
Tom, I've got to be honest with you. I haven't brought myself to watch this week's Monday Night Raw yet, but it's on today's list of jobs to do because when I woke up on Tuesday morning, which was yesterday, I've been led to believe, I looked on Twitter and I saw a picture of Shayna Baszler looking at a puppet, and I thought, I'm not ready for this yet this week. I'm not ready for it yet, so I'm going to let myself in gently with last week's SmackDown and then watch Raw. And just it is so weird how Raw can be so bad and SmackDown can be so good, and it's put on by the same company. It's baffling.
I'm really upset the fact that this is the case, and we've mentioned this a few times that we kind of get labelled as sort of anti-WWE, and we're not. Like the whole industry does well when WWE does well. We've seen it happen, and why would we want to willingly have a show be rubbish? I want to look forward to watching Raw, but I must admit, when we were doing graded back in the day, there were Tuesday mornings where I was. It's a champagne problem because this is a cracking job. But there were Tuesday mornings where I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for 3 hours yet of this. I'm finding the bright side of all of this. So when somebody messaged me saying we're going to start a petition to bring back graded, I said, you don't need to. That's fine.
Did you not reach the stage where you sort of became numb to everything? Because I got there about 2 years into doing WTF moments.
I think I got that within about maybe 4 months. I think the turning point for me was the night Revolution, the night that Retribution all signed contracts with the company. That was a notable point where people went, I think Raw has broken Tom. He's giving out more C pluses than normal.
But that's the thing. If Raw is bad, less people watch, and less people watch us in turn. So just make it good again. I don't know how you make it good again, but like get rid of an hour, I guess, is a starting point. Just take the financial hit. And I know that comes with all those extra adverts in the third hour, but. We've been through these problems so many times.
Many times. But I think that the issue they've got this time, though, compared to other times where Raw has dipped, is incredible. Is a unique one because this company is now making money despite itself. Like they say that you do your best work when you're hungry, and there's some truth to that. And there's no incentive really for WWE to put on a compelling product because, as we've seen, if you follow WrestleNomics on Twitter, it's an incredible account, incredible website as well. It talks about all the financial side of wrestling. Is that we've seen that whilst the numbers that watch the show have dipped, like the money made from the shows have rocketed up in many other ways through sponsorship deals and promotions and stuff like that. So they're going to make money regardless of what guff they put out. And until it gets to a point where, we need to make money, then that won't happen. I don't think it ever will again.
A weird world we live in where it's all about the amount of content you make and not really the quality of content you make. Because I guess that's why WWE have all of these shows now, and they used to make obviously the pay-per-views 27 hours long. As long as you've got all that content there, people are interested to be featured and distribute and get involved in that content. And it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's a weird thing, isn't it?
There was some good from Monday Night Raw, which I think we should end on, and it was the reaction to a Raw debut. What's this about, Ross?
Jimmy Smith, the commentator who replaced Adnan Virk. What a shame. Adnan only lasted one show. The little jingle I made for Adnan and he went away. People backstage loved him, apparently. Tremendous is being said. A natural fit is another little thing that's being said about Jimmy Smith. Again, I haven't seen Monday Night Raw, but he couldn't. All credit to Adnan for giving it a go, because being thrown into the lead commentary role of Monday Night Raw and commentating live 3 hours of professional wrestling is no easy job, Tom. Let me tell you that much. But
this is coming from a former commentator of the year
who got twice as many votes as Jim Ross in a poll, despite the fact he's the worst commentator ever. That's me I'm speaking about, not Jim Ross. The fact that Adnan gave it a go. And I tell you what, Adnan, on that first week, I thought you're quite a relaxing, a cool, a calm presence, a nice reassuring voice, Adnan. But he got worse and worse and worse. But I guess Jimmy Smith, the only way is up from there. We'll see how long he lasts. He does have, obviously, experience commentating on combat sports with Bellator and whatnot. But I was led to believe that he was sort of the Corey Graves to the Michael Cole rather than the Michael Cole of Bellator. So we'll see how he goes.
We'll see how he pans out.
Did you like him?
I thought he was a nice. I think they said natural fit is right. I think it's the fact that you can watch that show and it doesn't jump out at you too much that he's there. Not, and I don't mean that in like his wallpaper way. Like it doesn't jar that his voice is on the show. His voice is a nice fit for that program. But I think he was better than Adnan Virk in the first week. I'm just saying. I think he's hit the ground running with this one, and I'm glad that people like him. He's even said like he doesn't mind Vince's voice in his ear, so he's on to a winner. If he's already in that place where Vince talks to me all the time. That happened at Bellator. It's all good. Like,
maybe that was the issue with Adnan, because Adnan didn't speak to Vince for the first couple of weeks he worked there, did he?
So who's this in my head? Who's this strange gravelly man in my head?
I'll tell you what, I've forgotten to attribute that story there. It's WrestleVotes. I do apologise to WrestleVotes. That is their scoop. They've spoken to Raw production people who have said those things.
Scout from WrestleVotes. Well done. We should do commentary, mate. I hate when you talk about how you were the worst commentator ever, because I think in yourself is a cracking colour analyst as a commentator.
Tom, I read Twitter and I read Reddit, and that is all I needed. That's all I needed.
I reckon if you and I work together and did some commentary. Now BritRest is coming back. I think if a wrestling company hired you and I to do commentary, we'd be a hell of a team. I'm just putting that out there. Matthew and I do amazing stuff at North. I think that you and I should do stuff on the indie scene. What do you reckon?
I'm absolutely terrified, Tom. I'm absolutely terrified.
Excellent. Let's frighten Ross. Bookings now available. Raid Shadow Legends. Stay safe.
Shack it.
Shack it, bye.